Welcome back. Now, when the recession happened, or actually we're still in the recession, one of the worries for me is the fact that, here are these independent promotions, and I honestly thought a lot of them were going to go down one by one. Honest to God, I thought it was. I thought because of the recession, and the hard economic times, that a lot of these independent promotions would be gone. But amazingly, the recession really has not hit the major independent promotions, like IWA Mid-South. IWA Mid-South is the little engine that could. That train just keeps on going. When you think that company is done for, when you think it's over with, they keep coming back. They find a way to come back. And that's what makes IWA so special to me, because this is the company, yeah, they got the hardcore style, the ultra-violent deathmatch style, and I know a lot of people don't like it, but, come on. This is a company that for almost 13 years has stood just about everything, and it's still around. And a lot of credit goes to Ian Ronan and Jim Fannin and a lot of the guys who, make IWA Mid-South happen. Now, am I saying IWA is the greatest promotion of all time? Absolutely not. Just the fact that, hey, they're still going. They're still around. That is a big deal, especially in the Midwest, Gotta give my props to IWA Mid-South. CZW, they're, as much as they are a little bit more violent than IWA Mid-South, they're starting to come back in a way. They're starting to gain a little bit more of their popularity. And, they got a show on the G4 network. My brother-in-law told me this once, how actually there is a show, documenting the lives of the CZW wrestlers. I haven't had a chance to see it yet, but whenever I get a chance, if I can find it, it'd be great. Jersey All Pro. How about Jersey All Pro? Jersey All Pro has become once again a big force to deal with as far as independent promotions go. It is like IWA Mid-South in a way, where they have ups and downs, and they're really on an up right now. They're on a very good high, and from what I keep hearing, they're bringing out good shows. They really are. They got good shows. Yeah, they may have some of the same talent, but it's not as bad, as other promotions. So Jersey All Pro, for them being around for I think 11, 12 years, that's a success right there. That really is. And if you haven't seen a Jersey All Pro show on DVD, I recommend you do watch one. It really is entertaining to watch. And, okay, well, how about Chikara? Chikara. They've had, to me, the most successful year to date. I thought 08 was going to be their most successful year. 09, by leaps and bounds, is putting 08 to the ground. And, one thing that did worry me was that length of time between shows. They haven't had a show since Memorial Day weekend. And that was a little bit of a worry for me, but this is Chikara. This is a promotion that really has no boundaries. When you go to a wrestling show, I guess you're sort of expecting the glitz and the glamour. Chikara is sort of like that if you haven't watched the Chikara show, but it's more fun. It's clean. You're not going to get any of the cursing or the bad language or middle fingers, that you see in other promotions or other shows. And Mike Quackenbush, as much as he's a hell of a wrestler, he is a hell of a wrestler. He is underrated as a booker. He is an underrated guy as far as a booker goes. Probably has one of the best minds in wrestling today. And I don't think he gets a lot of credit for that. I really don't. But, with Mike Quackenbush and Chikara, if Quackenbush can keep, his run going, well, I think Chikara's going to be around for a long time. And, going, up north once or twice a year, that's a good thing. I wish they'd go to the Midwest again. Really, I'd like for them to go to the South. I think they'd get a good crowd in the South. And finally, Pro Wrestling Guerrilla, the Ring of Honor of the West, a lot of people are calling it. And I read something the other day on a message board, and it really was a good quote. If you don't like ROH, you're not going to get into Pro Wrestling Guerrilla. You're really not. I don't think you'd understand it. And, they've had a lot of stuff happen, especially with Super Dragon not wrestling anymore. And, they've had time. There have been some times where they haven't had shows. But, for 6 years, because they're coming up on their 6th anniversary show real soon, for them to be around that long on the West Coast, where really the West Coast isn't, promotion-wise, isn't much of an independent, theme, idea, big names. Pro Wrestling Guerrilla is number one. It really is. And Young Bucks come from PWG. Joey Ryan coming from PWG. All those guys. It's really, if you were looking for a place where wrestling can be fun, Pro Wrestling Guerrilla fits that description. It really does. And, if PWG can keep this momentum up, I think PWG is going to be around for a long, long time, and I think a lot of us would really be glad to see that. Gonna take a break. When I return, gonna talk about Japan.